Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus Channel. Many know the saying, keep your friends close and enemies closer. The same goes for the enemy's technology. The U.S. has historically stored and preserved the military equipment and airplanes of its adversaries. The purpose is to study, analyze, and in some cases copy their design and capabilities. Understanding what enemy planes can do allows U.S. engineers and researchers to develop the technology and the aircraft to defend against those enemies. In this feature, you'll learn the reason why the U.S. secretly hides so many rare and powerful Soviet warplanes. The U.S. has a long history of capturing and studying enemy aircraft, dating back to the Second World War. During World War II, the U.S. apprehended a number of German and Japanese aircraft. Which were then used for testing and evaluation by the military. Since the Cold War era, the U.S. has been keeping an eye on the military developments of the Soviet Union and China. Planes are acquired in several ways. At Nellis Air Force Base in Nevada, there is what airmen refer to as a plane petting zoo. It's a 5-acre display of aircraft and land vehicles used by the Soviets and their allies during the Cold War. Like an animal petting zoo, veterans fondly call this an aircraft petting zoo. This MiG-29, a Russian-made fighter jet, is stored on Nellis Air Force Base. It's part of the long line of Russian MiG series aircraft being produced since 1948. In the past, the MiG-15 saw significant combat during the Korean War. Planes in the MiG series were among the first jet fighters to use a swept wing design. Which allowed for higher speeds and better maneuverability. They reached high speeds quickly, thanks to engines, and were equipped with advanced avionics for their time. This technology further enhanced with the MiG-23 being equipped with a variable swept wing capability, which continued to be observed in the development of the attack aircraft MiG-27 in the 1970s. Not only were the MiGs designed extensively to act as a fighter jet, but the MiG-31 was later developed to function as an interceptor during the Cold War. The land vehicles and weapon systems the U.S. captures are also studied and in some cases used for training purposes. Like this armored vehicle, being loaded onto a flatbed truck to be transferred to another part of Nellis. The vehicles in the petting zoo help teach troops how to operate and treat vehicles in battle. It's not just an Air Force base where one could see an old vehicle up close. Pilots don't just observe planes from foreign nations, they can practice fighting against them. Pilots are challenged with an intense training exercise called Red Flag. Red Flag is designed to provide realistic training for air crews in a simulated combat environment. A variety of aircraft from different branches of the military are involved, as well as aircraft from allied countries. Held several times a year, the Red Flag drills at Nellis Air Force Base involve both live and simulated combat scenarios. They include air-to-air engagements and air-to-ground attacks, and even involve the use of anti-aircraft artillery and surface-to-air missile systems. Like the Red Flag exercises held in Nevada, Red Flag Alaska exercises are generally held several times a year. And typically involve a mix of live and simulated combat scenarios. The main difference is the location and the weather. Alaska offers colder conditions and challenging terrains such as mountains and vast wilderness, making training more difficult. The 2-week duration of Red Flag exercises allows a variety of complex and challenging scenarios to be conducted. And it also provides ample time for air crews to debrief and learn from the experience.
Red Flag is a great opportunity to actually get Australian squadrons in Alaska to fly directly with our US counterparts against a threat realistic mission set. So with me being embedded here at the 19th Fighter Squadron, it's awesome to see the Australian squadrons here in Alaska and how well we're able to integrate and then operate with our US counterparts.
Not only do Red Flag exercises help train pilots and other air crews, but they are also a teaching experience for the military personnel on the tarmac. During a Red Flag exercise in 2020, an aircraft maintenance unit launched a B-52 Stratofortress. These fast-paced drills give the maintenance workers and others on the ground a chance to simulate the speed of operations during wartime. B-52s are often included in Red Flag exercises to simulate the role of a heavy bomber in a combat environment. Despite being introduced in the mid-1950s at the height of the Cold War, it remains in service to this day. That said, its role has changed quite a bit over the years, with the 159-foot-long, 185-foot wingspan aircraft undergoing many updates and modifications. B-52s are capable of carrying a large payload of air-to-ground weapons, such as bombs and missiles. During Red Flag, they practice performing bombing runs and tactics to steer clear of the enemy. Unfortunately, there is no amount of training or practice that can prepare a pilot for that exact moment when an adversarial nation makes an antagonistic move. That was the case in August 2020, when 2 Russian fighter pilots suddenly intercepted a B-52 bomber. The bomber was conducting routine operations over international waters. The Russian pilots at times crossed within a mere 100 feet of the nose of the U.S. plane at the same altitude. The B-52 landed safely, but shortly after the Russian stunt, the U.S. wanted to show its strength in numbers. U.S. B-52s flew over 30 NATO countries to demonstrate NATO solidarity. And enhance readiness against any future Russian attack. One never knows when an adversarial nation will make a move that could disrupt peaceful relations between countries. Their large, cumbersome bodies and relatively slow speed put B-52s more at risk than other jets. This is why they are often escorted by smaller, more agile fighter jets for protection. These fighter jets can provide additional firepower and reconnaissance capabilities. In May of 2021, a fighter jet from Hungary, a U.S. ally, escorted a U.S. B-52 through NATO airspace.
7 Hotel November, Roger, descent to flight level 140.
Pilots of NATO nations frequently fly alongside one another's planes as a show of unity and to provide mutual protection. The escorting nation is demonstrating that it is committed to the defense of its allies and willing to protect them. This sort of escort also allows training opportunities for pilots and improves coordination and communication between different nations' air forces. U.S. fighter pilots are also tasked with escorting other U.S. planes. As was the case in September 2021, when the pilot of an F-15C Eagle flew alongside a B-52. This was during a mission over the Indo-Pacific region. A plane isn't only escorted when it's traveling long distances or over oceans or other sensitive areas. Having a country's planes fly together can be used as a show of force during military operations or training exercises. For a more robust defense barrier, planes fly in multilateral formations. In these patterns, fighter jets fly alongside and around the planes they're protecting. In times of conflict, flying in this formation can help protect and escort the bomber that is carrying out an airstrike. During humanitarian and disaster relief operations, Multilateral formations can be used to transport aid to affected areas. As well as to cover a more expansive area for search and rescue efforts. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.